Here I'm going to teach you how to do left shark, but it's going to be different than my usual videos. This is not like an actual step-by-step DIY. It's more so the process of how I built this. Mostly because of like time restraints, and I was in a rush trying to make it. But I think you guys could learn a lot if maybe you're trying to make like mascot costumes. This can be applied to lots of other types of costumes. I hope you all had a fantastic Halloween. This was my Halloween costume this year. My boyfriend wore it. I wore Katy Perry. Here's a picture right here. We had so much fun doing it. We went to Lincoln Road. We had a lot of people take our pictures. The kids really love it, and it just made everyone super happy. It was probably one of the best parts of making a mascot suit, even though it can get pretty hot in it. But don't let that discourage you from trying this out yourself. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it. So the first step on a project like this is to make sure that you have a sketch of the front and the side of whatever you're making. You want this to be like a reference so that you get all the proportions correct. Now, I didn't want to spend a lot of money, as less money as possible, so I actually used towels to help me make the base for the head. You want to make sure that you get the portions right from the front, the side, and the back. I know it looks like a hot mess, but then you cover it with some aluminum foil and you tape that all together. This is what it should look like, and then on top of that you add some duct tape. And this is what's really going to hold it all together and give you those curves in the most cheapest way. And this is what it should look like. I added some markings to determine where I wanted to cut it, where I was going to assemble it, and kind of give me a rough idea of where I wanted like the gills, the eyes, and the mouth. So this is what it should look like. Make sure you add some lines to it so that you know where to join the pieces up later. And this is the inside of it once you take out the towels. Once you cut it apart, it should look like this, and then you transfer that onto a piece of dense foam. Here I'm using like a yoga mat kind of foam. I'll have the link to that below. And the glue that I'm using is some contact cement. You want to use this with a respirator because it can be damaging to you. So definitely make sure safety first. Now I'm going to apply the glue to the edges, wait for it to get tacky, and then join them up, meet up the lines and everything. And I'm also going to repeat this pattern on the other side so that we get a very symmetrical head. Okay, because when you're freestyling it with the towels, it may not be completely symmetrical, so you want to just copy one side of it. This is what it should look like when it's all glued up together. To hold everything up on the inside, I'm using a bike helmet, and this is the thick piece of Ava foam. It's a really dense foam that will make sure that nothing shifts around. And I have that main backbone and then two side pieces coming out to support the head. Later on, you'll see that I'll have to add some more pieces, but I'm going to show you that later. To create the main pattern pieces for the body of the shark, I used aluminum foil, and here you see that I've taped it onto the headpiece, and then from there I can mark the foil and tuck things in, tape things where I want them to go. And aluminum foil is the best for this instead of paper because it's more versatile. It'll like do curves a lot easier, whereas paper is like so stiff. Then using the foil body pieces, I used it to cut out 1/2 inch soft foam. This will make the body a lot easier to move, like when you're trying to do dance moves and stuff. And here you see me making the legs. I'm taping them to the shark's crotch, upper thigh area here. And what I'm trying to do is just get the dimension of the upper thigh right. Don't worry about the shape of the leg just yet. This is the only way I could figure out how to do it because it's such a free-form shape. But you just mark it and then you cut it out, and then you tape it back onto the piece of foam, and then you start adjusting it. I had to put this part into it because it kept unsticking from the foam no matter how much tape I put onto it. And the important lesson here is that it won't always go perfect when you're making a project like this, but you just gotta keep going, don't get stuck in that rut, and just keep on working it. So once you have your basic tube shape, you want to start taking it in from the outside side seam and just keep adjusting it, mark it with a Sharpie, and you're going for a thick to thin kind of leg. Here I'm showing the back opening that I left open. This is how a person gets in and out. For the fin, I originally made it out of cardboard, but after I had it assembled and covered in fabric, it was way too heavy and the back of the shark was just weighing down and it could slip off your head. So instead I made it using that 1/2 inch foam that I used for the body, and it worked out alright. So this is what your shark should look like before you add your fleece. The fleece that I'm using is from Joann's and it's called Blizzard Fleece. With coupons, you can get it pretty cheap, especially now in the wintertime. And I am using 5 yards of this. So drape it onto your shark like so, and you want to make sure that you adjust the fabric, making sure you're wasting as little as possible of the fabric because 5 yards will definitely get you a long way. The best part about fleece is that it stretches, so you can definitely cover a lot of areas and smooth out all those wrinkles, and it also sticks to the foam really easily, kind of holding it up for you so that you don't have to worry about it slipping off. Next, with a Sharpie, you want to mark all your side seams and where you want to cut the fabric in the front. This will make it a lot easier later. And once you start cutting it, make sure you leave about a 1/2 inch seam allowance. For the rest of the shark project, this will be your best friend. It's like a magnetic pin thing that goes on your wrist, and it makes everything a lot faster, especially when you're working with something of such a big scale like this. So I'm taking this piece of fabric and I'm stretching it, creating that other half of the shark, and I'm just going about it slowly, making sure everything's smoothed out and connected to the other piece. Next, you want to go in with a different colored Sharpie. Here I'm using a blue one, and this is going to help with differentiating those original marks that you made, and you're creating these new marks so that you know exactly where to stitch. So using the pieces that I cut out, I made a mirror image of the pattern pieces for the other side of the shark so that it's completely symmetrical, and then I stitched those together along the side seams, but I didn't stitch it in the back seams. For the center back seam, you want to tuck it under and pin it in place. Then you want to go in hand stitching with a slip stitch using a very thick thread, like made for coats, because you want to make sure it's extremely durable and it can handle a lot of abuse from children, I would say. And this is what the shark should look like at this point. Please excuse that awkward look around his nether region. I did not do that on purpose. For his fins, this is what I originally had done. I had stuffed some towels and then draped around it, creating this fin shape, but that didn't end up working. It was way too big. So instead, I created this paper pattern using the dimensions of the armhole, actually a little bit wider than the armhole because it's gonna curve a little bit. So just make sure that the length is right and that it tapers from thick to thin. Next, you want to cut your pattern out on a thicker piece of foam. I'm using the same foam that I used for the headpiece. And as you're cutting it, you want to make sure that you're cutting it at an angle. And the reason why you're doing this is because once you glue it together, it'll turn your fin into more of like a tube shape instead of flat. Next, you want to cut the base of the fin in this shape, and this will give you a lot more mobility as you're moving the fin up and down. Now, when you cut out the fabric for your fin, you want to make sure that the base has a lot more fabric at the end, because this will give you even more of a range of motion for the fin, and you can actually bring it forward and back because of the extra fabric. To begin attaching the fin, you want to make sure that you have some pins in place around the armhole area, and this is so that the fabric doesn't shift around as you're pinning it. So you just want to tuck the fabric under and pin, creating a circle. Once you have it all pinned down, you want to slip stitch it so that you can't see any of the threads. Because the head and the body are two different colors, you could see a line through the white fleece. So to fix that, I had to spray the foam blue, and now it's seamless. Once I added the fins and the fabric, the costume kind of got heavier, so there started to be a bit of a dip at the top. So in order to fix that, I added the thick AvaFoam pieces that are curved, and I glued them to the inside where that curve was happening. Next, I added some heavy-duty Velcro straps on the inside, and what this will do is close up that center back, not completely so that you still have some ventilation, but just enough so someone doesn't come up from behind and squeeze your butt. The gills are made using black craft foam, and the eyeballs are made using a big styrofoam ball cut in half. His teeth are made out of white craft foam, and that piece of black mesh is just a sheer piece of black fabric. And to open up his mouth, all you have to do is put your hand in there and press down, and he should be able to talk. And don't forget the finishing touch, which is some little booties that can cover up your sneakers. There's a piece of elastic at the bottom at the arch of the foot so that they don't come off. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys liked the video, definitely give it a big thumbs up. And if you guys want, you can subscribe so you can see all the new videos that we put out. And I say we as if me and Sharky work together, but we don't. I just feel like I have another person here with me. The next video that I'm working on is a Mockingjay video because you guys really like the other one. And the movie's coming out in like 2 weeks and I'm pretty excited, but also not because I don't like endings of a series. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!
Wait, do that again.
Yeah.
Okay, that is not working at all.
Okay.